Hey YouTube, Moose Cow here. I'm back with another recap video. We played a solid round from Japan's turn of round 5 up to the beginning of Japan's turn of round 6, so they're up next. Probably resume tomorrow. But anyway, here's what happened. So Japan took out the Dutch on Celebes, so they have that airbase there. And they regrouped in Japan. They sent their battleships up to the Philippines to get repaired. Australia is still being, their convoy is still being disrupted by a sub. He's got a destroyer up here. Built new aircraft carriers. He sent some Air Force from Malaya up there. He took out Szechuan. The Chinese actually managed to get a few casualties out of it, so that's cool. Or sorry, a few Japanese casualties out of it. Japan retook French Indochina without a casualty. No surprise there. He just had an infantry. I believe that's it in terms of what Japan did. So he's fortifying. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going on in Malaya right now. The U.S. In response, the U.S. backed, or myself as the U.S., I backed the aircraft carriers out of Sea Zone 16, left that destroyer there as a blocker, brought a few more units down from 10, as well as kept on building the Pacific Fleet, and moving over to the other side of the world, or of the Americas. You can see real quick, Canada / the UK built 2 transports there to move their units over finally. Built some more subs. Sent a mech down to southeast Mexico from western United States. Yeah, southeast Mexico. Got another transport going up to 64. And no surprise, we took out Chile. Again, we've been playing with Chile and Argentina as pro-axis, and Argentina is starting with a naval base there, per Sire Blood's ideas. And then, so we did that, and I built a minor complex in Argentina. So now, I'll be able to send units over to Australia to help out. Yeah, they'll be able to get there to Australia in 1 turn. So that's pretty cool. That's a little bit of a game changer right there. More units being brought to Gibraltar, and this Sea Zone 91. Air Force congregating in the United Kingdom. And China, moving on to China. All China's doing is just trying to stay alive, and just built 2 infantry in Suyan. Let's see. Anzac, not an Anzac, UK. The UK, let's see, like I said, they built those 2 transports there. They knocked out the last Vichy France territory, as well as took out Tobruk and Libya. So right now, these are the only Vichy units on the board. We've got an aircraft carrier moved over here. The French landed their fighter on it. The French have been moving from Syria and Iraq to protect the northwest Persia border with Russia in case things sour up here, which is possible. However, we're in quite a stalemate so far. So he's got Germany has a ton of stuff in Leningrad, and they got a ton of stuff down here in Bessarabia. Rick right now is saying that he thinks this is an Allied victory because it's becoming a stalemate. Me and Mike are not terribly sure because of the major setback from losing our Navy there, but he does not have the money to replace that Luftwaffe quite yet. So right now the Russians are building mech and tanks. Oh, and real quick with the UK. The UK got their tech finally, and they got jet fighters. So that is a big deal. So right now, just as a recap, the US has super subs in long range, UK has jet fighters, and the Soviets have increased factory production and improved mechanized infantry. So that's cool. The economy is looking like this. And yeah, let's go back to this Eastern Front right here. Units are moving into Bessarabia, building infantry and artillery in Romania. All this stuff up here in that C zone is in Leningrad. All of his he moved his fast movers back. The Soviets took out Eastern Poland because of that, as well as the Baltic states. And then he's got just tons of tanks and mech and artillery. So he's doing what he can to block stuff with infantry. All the Far East units have made their way over. So we're going to look at some really big die battles here soon enough, I think. So Rick's interested in playing it out, but right now he thinks we have the game. So that's nice. My first global Allied victory so far. If that's the case, I don't want to jinx it. So knock on wood. Anzac sent 2 fighters from Java. It's pointless to defend that. They're either going to get lost in Java or lost over here. Anzac sent their fighters to help out in India. Japan did strategically bomb their factory, but did not damage too much, so I think there's only 8 damage. Yeah, I think there's only 8 damage there on that factory. Let's see, what else? I'm blanking anything. Oh yeah, let's look at Anzac. So this is what I got fortified so far. Got a mech, an infantry, AAA, bunch of artillery in South Australia. This is typically my standard move to defend Australia. Of fortifying it, put a bunch of infantry on the coast. If they land anywhere, I can attack with the artillery from South Australia. That mech I will send to Western Australia. So if he attacks over in either Queensland or New South Wales, I can jet over there and attack with that mech. That's the idea. And then I got a tank up there in Queensland just to kind of buff that out a little bit. Oh yeah, and since he took his units, his 2 Japanese infantry out of New Guinea to take Celebes, so he left it wide open, so I took that back, which is good. So that gave me my national objective back. We still got the Dutchman there. Yeah, that's what it's looking like so far. Oh boy. All right, well, anyway, so that just about does it. So probably we'll be resuming tomorrow. It's really cool to have South America more involved in the game. Just to throw that out there, I think that's a really good idea. I would actually like to play this game with changing the strict neutrals rules, because I don't think that if you invaded Saudi Arabia, I don't think that would make Venezuela jump in. So I would like to play this with the strict neutrals having a regional, not alliance, but what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, I would like to do this, the strict neutrals, rather than all strict neutrals being activated, I would like to have it be regionally. So if you invaded a strict neutral in South America, it would flip all the other ones to be pro the other side in South America solely. If you invaded Turkey, Saudi Arabia, or Afghanistan, I would activate those 3. And if Mongolia is a strict neutral, then it would activate that as well. And then Europe is a different story. Spain with being a normal strict neutral, normally, and then Portugal being lumped into that. So if we weren't playing with this, it'd be probably a little, it would be more like what I'm saying right now. But if we weren't playing with including Spain as a playable country, I would have Spain, Portugal, Switzerland, and Sweden connected. On top of that, the two colonies that are Portuguese colonies down here in South Africa would be connected to those. And then if you invaded those two, that would just flip Portugal. It wouldn't flip the rest of mainland Europe. But if you invaded any of those strict neutrals in Europe, that would cause these two to flip. And then from what I've looked at online, pretty much, yeah, it also would flip that, I guess. But these two would just be pro-allies. I don't know why they're just plain up strict neutrals. They essentially would just be another Crete. But yeah, that's just about does it. That's my little strict neutral idea. But anyway, on top of that, it'd be cool, I think, to add extra bases in those strict neutrals, so to make it more tempting and worthwhile. Like maybe let's put an air base in Turkey. Let's put a naval base in Saudi Arabia. Let's put I don't want to put anything in Afghanistan or Mongolia, but maybe an air base in Sweden. Maybe not. But definitely something like that. Add a few extra bases, maybe that might make it a little more interesting or something. I don't know. I like variety. So anyway, we'll come back with another recap video whenever we play next. Till later, do what you got to do and roll the dice better.